Hi everybody, it's Kathy here, and I am playing along with Ginger's Corner, Scraps to Embellishments, and today we're stamping, cutting and colouring. So this is a bit of a difference for me. I don't do this very often, but I saw these stamps that I had in my collection that I didn't even know, and I just loved them straight away because they reminded me of Miss Piggy and Kermit. Don't look like them, but that's what they reminded me of. So I thought these are going to be perfect for today's challenge or the swap that we're participating in at the moment. So I found my stamping platform, thank goodness, because I'm hopeless at stamping, and I have put on the pig and the frog, and they are both dancing, and I'm just inking them up. I use a Memento black ink because when I colour it doesn't run, and so I like to use this one as my stamping ink. And I like my platform because it allows me to do it more than once, and it goes back into the right spot and it doesn't bleed, and it looks nice and crisp when it's finished. So I am stamping them up on some scrap white that I have left lying around. We all accumulate the whites, and these is great for stamping. I'm also building this part of it up from a couple of stamps. First of all, I have the frame, which I'm going to put down, and that's going to form the basis of the sentiments that will go with these this swap when they go to my partners. And then I have the word always, and I have the next little phrase that says enjoy every moment. So I'm putting those together inside the frame, and then I will cut those out, and they are an extra balancing part of building up the mat for this stamping embellishment. Now we have to have 2 layers on these, so Ginger says that the stamping is 1 layer and the colouring is the 2nd layer, so that's pretty good. I've also added in glitter over the top, so that makes it a 3rd layer, so I'm pretty happy that I've met the criteria this time around. So I'm just stamping up the ones that I require, and then I will fussy cut around them because these don't have dies. I'm just laying that stamp there, and this is the beauty of the platform. I love it because I can actually do it properly without making a misstamp or a 2nd generation stamping, as they say. I'm hopeless with stamping. I'm the first one to admit it. I'm not the best at it. I just do what I can. I would love to be better at it. And I suppose that comes from practice, but at the moment, this is what I'm doing. So I fussy cut them all out, and I started colouring them, and I've done them in sets of colours, so my partners will get their own set of colour. So I've done one set with purples. They're just cute as. They're so cute. And then I have done an orange set. I just love how these are turned out. They are so cute. That frog is just to die for. And then I did a blue set, which is pretty. I like the blue. And then my favourite colour, of course, my absolute favourite colour in yellow. I just love yellow. It's so bright and sunny. And look at that pig. Isn't she gorgeous? And now I'm going to colour one and show you how I've coloured one with you now. And I'm going to start with the frog, and I use my Copic markers here. I'm just putting in the facial structure of the frog, and then I have 3 greens that I'm using for my frog colour. The dark one goes on first, and I leave it in patches, and basically I just want the dark as the shadowing. Then I have the next level down in the tone or shade, and that will colour in 3/4 of it, and it doesn't matter that it goes over the dark. And then I come in with this really light one, and then I actually go over it all with the light, and that fills in any gaps that I have missing, and it covers in all of your markers and makes them a smooth colouring. Now the pig is a little bit more trickier. I have struggled colouring her. I've tried her 3 or 4 different ways. I'm still trying to work out the best way to colour her, because I like to have her to have a lot more colour in her, and also to have more variation in her colour, because that's more like the pig's skin. It's more not one solid colour. So I'm just using multiple pinks, and I'm just going through to check out the best ones for her. Now I'm going to put in this brighter one to do like the highlighting, and it looks really, really bright there at the moment, and I'm just going to go back over it with the lighter one again, and that will absorb it down. And as it dries and soaks into the paper, it does soften up and lighten up a little bit, but I will come back and touch her up as we progress. So for this one, I'm going to do a red. And so I'm starting with a lighter red for the skirt. And as you can see when I colour in, because it is a big area that I'm colouring, I am not doing shades of colour. So in this case, I'm doing it in circles. And that's how I teach my kids in class. When you colour in with a texture or you colour in with a marker like this, if you colour in circles, and even with the lead pen or with the pencil, if you colour in with circles, the colour is smoother, and if you do a stroke, then you'll see the strokes through the colouring. So it's always a skill and a tip that I give the kids at school to smooth out their colouring so that it looks smoother, particularly with textures and markers, because they are tricky to work with. The circles are your best option, and they make it happen nice and smoothly. So I'm just filling in the darker red now, and you can see here on the pig, I just outline it and then I backfill it with the circles, and that allows you to get right up to the line without going out as well and without bleeding across it. So that's just a little tip I've learned over the years of being a teacher and also learning how to colour. It is a skill, and that's what I teach kids. I've had to teach children how to colour because that is a skill. And so it is one of my favourite. I do like to colour. It's relaxing, and I also like to play with colour. So this is a good option. I just topped that up there with some red glitter. So it's a red glitter pen, a texture, and I've gone over the seams of her dress and the folds of his coat. And now I'm just colouring in the flowers, and all of my pigs have the same colours in their flowers, so all of the swaps have the same, and they're neutral colours to the outfit. And here you can see that I'm going around again, and what I've done with the white is I've just added in some little dots to add some detail, and I'm just going over the little pigs' noses to put in a highlight to give them a 3D effect. And that's just a little tip that I do to add some more detail to them. So now that I'm happy with how that's turned out, I'm going to work on the sentiment. Now with each of the sentiments, I'm using distressed oxide in the colour of the clothing, and this one I'm using the lumberjack plaid. And I'm just going around the edges, and I start off dark and then I allow it to go lighter around, so you had that variegated colour around the sentiment. Now I'm going to add the frog to the sentiment because I want him to be attached, and then that keeps them together. And then the pig can be put anywhere. Now these can be used on cards, they can be used on a layout. Once the person owns it, once it gets to them, they can do whatever they like with it. Just going over the top now with my gold sparkly pen, just over the flowers to give it a little bit more sparkle, because who doesn't need to sparkle in this world? And there you have them. Now to package them up and give them to my partner, I am putting them into a little baggie, writing my name on the back, and I have a little scrap piece of card which is going to keep them nice and flat, non-bendy, and they're now sealed in a plastic bag, and each of my partners will get one. And that's how these have come together, and I'll just continue colouring in the rest. So hopefully you like these. I do. I think they're very cute, and I hope you're going to check out everybody else playing along. Thanks for watching. Happy scrapping till next time. Here's my next video recommendation for you, and I can't wait to make more.